Welcome to Clash Compare. Welcome back, Clashers, to another exciting episode of Clash Compare. Today, we're diving into the ultimate fizzy face-off, Coke versus Pepsi. These two cola giants have been at the center of one of the biggest brand wars in history. But who comes out on top in this global battle? Grab your favorite drink, sit tight, and let's get started. Section 1. The origins of Coke and Pepsi. First things first, let's talk about how Coke and Pepsi came to be the legendary soda brands they are today. Coke, or Coca-Cola, was invented way back in 1886 by John Stith Pemberton, a pharmacist in Atlanta, Georgia. Originally marketed as a medicinal tonic, Coke quickly grew to become a cultural icon, with its distinctive glass bottle and red and white logo. On the other hand, Pepsi, founded in 1898 by another pharmacist, Caleb Bradham, started as a soda fountain drink. While Pepsi had a rough start, declaring bankruptcy twice before 1940, it eventually rose to challenge Coke on the global stage. Pepsi's resilience is a testament to the brand's ability to reinvent itself. Interesting fact: Coca-Cola's original formula contained cocaine, about 9 milligrams per serving, which was removed from the recipe in 1904. Pepsi, on the other hand, contained pepsin, an enzyme used to aid digestion, which is where it got its name. Section 2. The global spread of the Cola Wars. Coke and Pepsi aren't just soft drinks, they're global powerhouses. Let's take a trip around the world to see how each brand is received. In the US, Coke reigns supreme, consistently outselling Pepsi. But head over to India, and Pepsi dominates, thanks to its aggressive marketing strategies and partnerships with cricket stars. In fact, Pepsi was one of the first international brands to enter India after economic liberalization in the early 90s. In Russia, Coke's popularity grew after the fall of the Soviet Union, symbolizing westernization and modernization. Meanwhile, in South America, Coca-Cola is considered an integral part of daily life, with advertisements and billboards plastering every corner. But it's not a one-sided story. Pepsi's Pepsi Challenge campaign of the 1970s, where blind taste tests were conducted, actually convinced many people to choose Pepsi over Coke. It was a bold move that showed the world Pepsi was here to compete. Interesting fact: in 1972, Pepsi struck a deal with the Soviet Union to trade Pepsi syrup for Russian vodka, making it the first Western product ever sold in the USSR. Section 3. Taste Test. Who tastes better? One of the most fiercely debated topics among soda fans is which one tastes better, Coke or Pepsi. There's actually a science behind why people prefer one over the other. Coke has a strong caramel flavor with a citrusy aftertaste, whereas Pepsi is sweeter and has a slightly sharper, more citrus-heavy flavor. This difference in sweetness is partly due to the amount of sugar and the type of acid used in the recipes. Pepsi's sweeter taste often appeals to younger audiences, which explains why Pepsi often targets millennials and Gen Z in their ads. In taste tests, Pepsi tends to do better when it's sipped quickly because of its sweetness, but Coke tends to win over people when it's drunk over a longer period due to its balanced flavor profile. So, next time you crack open a can of soda, pay attention to how your taste buds react. Interesting fact: the carbonation in soda not only provides that satisfying fizz, but also triggers a sensation in the brain similar to eating spicy foods, which is why some people describe cola as refreshing with a kick. Section 4. Marketing Magic. The Power of Advertising. Coke and Pepsi have spent billions on advertising over the decades, creating some of the most iconic marketing campaigns of all time. Let's take a look at how each brand has used the power of advertising to win over the masses. Coke's Share a Coke campaign from 2011 is one of the most successful in recent history. By replacing its logo with popular names on bottles and cans, Coca-Cola created a personal connection with consumers. Suddenly, buying a Coke wasn't just buying a soda. It was about sharing a moment with someone special. The campaign spread across 80 countries and led to a significant boost in sales. Pepsi, on the other hand, is known for its celebrity endorsements. Think of Michael Jackson's famous 1984 Pepsi commercial, where the king of pop moonwalked across the stage, cementing Pepsi's cool, youthful image. More recently, Pepsi has partnered with stars like Beyoncé, Kendall Jenner, and Cardi B, using pop culture to appeal to younger generations. Interesting fact, Coca-Cola was one of the first companies to use Santa Claus in its ads, transforming him into the jolly red-suited figure we know today. Before that, Santa was often depicted in various forms, including wearing a green suit. Section 5. Product Variety and Innovations. Coke and Pepsi aren't just limited to their flagship sodas. Both brands have created a ton of spin-off products to cater to different tastes. Coca-Cola has Diet Coke, Coke Zero, and even Coca-Cola Life, which is sweetened with stevia. On the Pepsi side, we've got Pepsi Max, Diet Pepsi, and Crystal Pepsi, that iconic clear soda from the 90s that made a brief comeback in 2016. Interestingly, the two companies have also branched out beyond soda. Coca-Cola owns brands like Minute Maid, Powerade, and Dasani, while PepsiCo owns Gatorade, Tropicana, and even snack brands like Lay's and Doritos. It's safe to say that whether you're buying drinks or snacks, there's a good chance you're supporting one of these two giants. Interesting fact, Pepsi was the first to launch a diet soda, releasing Diet Pepsi in 1964. Coca-Cola responded with Tab a year later, but Diet Coke didn't hit the shelves until 1982. Section 6. Health and Environmental Impact. Now, we can't talk about Coke and Pepsi without addressing their health and environmental impacts. Both drinks are loaded with sugar and have faced criticism for contributing to the global obesity epidemic. One 12-ounce can of Coke contains 39 grams of sugar, about 9.75 teaspoons. While Pepsi has a similar sugar content, both brands have introduced low or zero-calorie alternatives to appeal to more health-conscious consumers. On the environmental front, both Coke and Pepsi have been criticized for their plastic usage. With the world moving towards sustainability, both companies have made pledges to reduce plastic waste and increase recycling. Coca-Cola has committed to making all its packaging recyclable by 2025, while PepsiCo is aiming to reduce its plastic use by 35% by 2025. Interesting fact, Coca-Cola is consistently ranked as one of the world's largest plastic polluters, contributing to more than 2 million tons of plastic waste each year. Section 7. Who wins? The final verdict. After all this, the big question is, who wins the cola war? Well, the answer depends on what you're looking for. If you love that nostalgic, classic cola taste, Coke might be your go-to. But if you're into sweeter, bolder flavors with a youthful edge, Pepsi could be your choice. From blind taste tests to global domination, Coke and Pepsi have each carved out their place in history. But one thing's for sure, the rivalry isn't ending anytime soon. Whether you're Team Coke or Team Pepsi, both brands will continue to innovate, expand, and compete for the top spot in the world of cola. So there you have it, Clashers. An epic showdown between Coke and Pepsi. Let us know in the comments which side you're on. Are you a loyal Coke fan, or do you swear by Pepsi? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Clash Compare for more epic face-offs. See you in the next one.